Hello everyone and welcome back. We've got some pretty exciting news today because Creative Assembly have finally posted a blog regarding the first character pack details. And yep, we're getting Catboys. The Tigermen of Ind, it's actually talking about Ind a little bit, are going to be in the brand new Cathay DLC. We've got a lot to discuss, so let's go for the intro. Hi everyone, this year marks the 10th anniversary of Total War Warhammer. We want to begin by thanking you for being part of this journey, whether you've been with us since the start or joined us along the way. Your support, feedback and passion for this series makes a great deal for us. Right now the team are hard at work on a variety of content that's going to inject some exciting new experiences into the game. The big addition being the Lord of the End Times, which arrives later this summer, armed with 4 new legendary lords, including the great necromancer Nagash himself. Alongside this, we'll have an update 9.0, which includes the long-awaited Vampire Counts update. So basically what's happened here, before anything, is that 8.0 is likely going to be the Cathay DLC for BHASHIVA and the Tiger Warriors, and Nagash, which was originally penned for 8.0, has been moved, so that way they can get a DLC out sooner with a patch and then keep it going. They have changed the patch changes also. So there's some other information there, which Neferata is the free legendary lord. They're still on track for release this summer and look forward to sharing more with us closer to time. But before that, they say that they have something special that we'll be able to experience first. The very first character pack. To mark this occasion, we've worked closely with Games Workshop to introduce an entirely new character to the Warhammer lore, BHASHIVA the Desert Tigress, White Tiger of Shangyang, which, I mean, it's not new information for us. I mean, there was a leak a while back which did talk about this, so yeah, and it's accompanied by a host of mercenary Tiger Warriors. I'm pretty excited about that because Tiger Warriors is something that we've known that have existed in lore way back in the 90s. Let's continue here. We've been discussing bringing her to life for some time now, so we're thrilled to share her with you. She represents another step into the mysteries of Grand Cathay, and we're grateful for the opportunity to debut a brand new aspect of the setting, since BHASHIVA and the Tiger Warriors are fresh additions to not just the game, but to the entire tabletop setting. That's a big thing, obviously. Today's blog is primarily about giving you the first look at who the White Tiger is, how she fights, as well as spotlighting one of the mercenaries who will be supporting her armies. Think of this as your introduction, but with more in-depth info coming closer to release. I mean, that's all exciting because, I mean, yeah, Tiger Warriors, fucking cool. Stuff that I think a lot of people have been wanting for. The fact that, yeah, we know we're getting that in the tabletop later down the line, who knows, at some point. That's all wonderful. That is great to see what essentially started off as a Chaos Beastmen type and now kind of new thing. So let's talk about the character packs now. In case you're not familiar, we wanted to take a quick moment to reintroduce character packs and explain what they bring to the game. These are smaller, focused content drops built around a single character with their own unique feature, supported by a handful of exciting new units. For us, they're an exciting experiment, another way to give you fresh tools for deepening the races you already love, and to add meaningful variety to your campaigns and battles. As is the first pack of its kind, we've worked hard to make BHASHIVA's debut feel meaningful by giving her a strong identity, a mixture of new units, and enough depth to stand proudly on her own, or slot naturally alongside the might of Zhao Ming, Miao Yin, or Yuan Bo's armies. Here's what we can expect. BHASHIVA and the Tiger Warriors is going to be £3.99. It includes a legendary lord, which will focus on being anti-infantry, a generic lord, which will be anti-large, a generic hero, which will be a spellcaster, 3 unique units, so we got a dual wielder, a hybrid, and an anti-large, and also include campaign features, so like, you know, mechanics, final battles, and quest battles. There's also, which I'm very happy about, going to be FLC content, a legendary hero which is going to be anti-large. So this is something that I did get worried about originally when they announced character packs, as if they were going to be smaller DLCs, are we going to get FLC? And I'm very happy that they're confirming the fact that there's going to be some FLC content coming here. It's also nice to get more legendary heroes in general. I know some people would say, why not a legendary lord? But like, yeah, it's a smaller DLC. They're not going to be making as much money. It makes sense. There is a note here also. So if you don't own any Grand Cathay content, don't worry. With the purchase of BHASHIVA, you'll also get access to the core Cathay roster to ensure that you get a complete experience. So this means, as far as I'm interpreting it, which I think is correct, because they did say that they wanted to do that in another blog, if you don't own Warhammer 3, so you don't have access to any of the Cathayan lords, you can still play Grand Cathay just with BHASHIVA. So I do wonder where her start position is going to be. Let's talk about the other stuff, because there is quite a lot there. So as a character, she looks pretty damn cool. I mean, it's a white tiger character, right? Like, who doesn't love that? And she's going to be using, like, additional hand weapons, which is cool. Yeah, no complaints, right? So lore. This is a big thing. This is always the big stuff I love. As the head of the Tiger Court, BHASHIVA stands as one of the mighty lords of Xiangyang, a mercenary sovereign to whom every Tiger warrior commander ultimately bends the knee. Though she bears the revered title of White Tiger, hers is only the latest chapter in a legacy far older than her name. The first White Tiger carved her destiny in heroic fashion, guiding the highland tribes across the towering mountains of heaven, through the blistering western deserts, into the lands ruled by the Iron Dragon Zhao Ming. There she swore fealty to the Western Master, forging a bond that has endured for centuries. Each new White Tiger rises to the mantle of the last, renewing ancient oaths and stepping into a legacy older than most kingdoms. No records exist on how many champions have risen. What is certain is that the White Tiger appears whenever the tides of chaos surge. Each time they take up the mantle, they once again lead their people into the heart of the Ever-Chosen's armies, driving the Tiger warriors straight into the storm. Through these countless cycles, the White Tiger achieved what few beings of any age can claim: to have stood in battle against both Asavar Kul and Archaon. I mean, yeah, old world reference, because I think by now Games Workshop would have done like an article or something, which if there is, we'll talk about it later later today, basically. We do also have some battle gameplay details. So on the battlefield, BHASHIVA fights exactly as the tales describe, a silent shadow that closes distance with unnerving speed before striking her prey. She excels at hunting down infantry, carving through tightly packed ranks with the blades of Xiangyang, twin Katara, burning with the Iron Dragon's fire. Each strike not only scorches her victims, but weakens their resistance to flames, letting her plow through fights the moment she commits. Cool. That sounds actually pretty cool. Her agility is at the core of her playstyle. She darts between threats, repositions effortlessly, and uses her mastery of stealth to pick the perfect moment to appear. Alright, so she's likely going to be quite useful to be a character killer too. That's good. Like, there's been a need for that, and hopefully the generic lords and heroes will have a little bit of that too, obviously in a bit of a weaker state. So her signature item, Heaven's Gate, builds on that stealth identity by letting her move rapidly across the battlefield without being seen. Whether she's flanking, ambushing, or diving straight into exposed infantry lines, BHASHIVA is designed to feel inevitable, a fast, merciless predator who dictates when and where the fight begins. With speed, stealth, and explosive opening damage, she rewards players who think like hunters, patient in a setup, ruthless in execution. I mean, yeah, that sounds fucking cool, man. Like, yeah, there's nothing really to say against that. I'm super excited about that. She's got a great design. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, let's continue. Alright, Tiger Warriors now. So, who exactly are the Tiger Warriors? Tales say they were shaped by the Old Ones alongside many other races, dwelling primarily in the lands now known as Ind. After chaos swept the world and the Old Ones vanished, the Tiger Warriors were saved by their chieftain, Kamau, who defied Tzeentch and overcame the god's schemes through sheer nobility and unwavering loyalty to his people. Following this, the Highland tribes were led by the first White Tiger to fulfill the prophecy of leading them to salvation, across the mountains of heaven into the western deserts and the lands of the Iron Dragon. Here they shaped a life and a legacy on their own terms. Their allegiance to Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon, is absolute, but it exists alongside a far older devotion to the White Tiger and their god Kamau. This dual loyalty gives them a culture that sits just slightly outside the rhythms of everyday Cathayan society. They're a part of the Empire, certainly, but proudly marked by their own traditions and ways of war. Because of this, their place within the armies of Cathay is a fascinating one. Zhao Ming's forces have always attracted a wide array of mercenary companies. The Tiger Warriors are a natural presence among them. Their duties are as varied as their heritage, guarding long-distance caravans across treacherous routes, holding strategic outposts against whatever the world throws at them, and when called upon, marching to support the other provinces. Sometimes that's at the request of the Iron Dragon or his siblings, and sometimes because BHASHIVA herself demands it. It should come as no surprise that the Tiger Warriors stand implacably against chaos, and they harbour a particular hatred for the schemes of Tzeentch. This enmity is also held for the beastmen herds that have long plagued the mountains and jungles they once called home. For the Tiger Warriors, these foes aren't just threats to Grand Cathay, they're affronts to the very lands and traditions their people have fought to protect for generations. This all sounds pretty cool, I like this. Obviously, hopefully Games Workshop will provide a bit more context. What is interesting here is the more array of mercenary companies under Zhao Ming. I mean, please, something unique for Zhao Ming, for God's sake, a unique mechanic. Mercenary companies and stuff like that would be great. Because right now the ogre system isn't amazing, yeah? Battle gameplay. Our goal for the Tiger Warriors was to bring something genuinely complementary to Grand Cathay's roster. Units that don't just fill a gap but open up an entirely new way to play the race. Cathay has always leaned towards disciplined lines and deliberate formations, so we're giving them a force built around agility. Stalking and sudden ambushes instantly changes the feel of their battlefield toolkit. The Tiger Warriors slip into the role perfectly. They're fast, they hit hard when they choose the right moment, and they let Cathayan players pull off flanks and surprise strikes like the faction has never really had access to before. From a visual standpoint, they're also some of the coolest characters and units we've ever worked on, and unlike anything that's to come before in the series. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, Tiger Warriors have been kind of cool and have been on my bucket list for a while, and that does mean that we're going to get fucking tabletop miniatures too, so I'm finally living out all my dreams. Old World has brought in stuff that I've always wanted, so I'm pretty excited about this. Now, we do have one final thing to talk about, because there's not really a lot of information here, so yeah, let's jump in. So the Claw Speaker is the Tigermen spellcaster, which, you know, kind of like Bengal style, Tony the Tiger feel. This is going to be your generic hero, which I'm pretty excited about, because it does mean that we're going to get access to other laws of magic. So let's talk about the lore introduction. Tiger Claw Speakers serve as the wizards of the Tiger Warriors, worshipping the Old English gods. Chief among them is Kamau, the Tiger God. Their magic leans towards the wind of beasts, channeling the raw, untamed strength of the wild. In battle, they can swell their ferocity of their own warriors or summon savage creatures from the mountains of heaven to fight on their side. Unsurprisingly, faith also runs deep among the Tiger Warriors. Every one of them believes that without Kamau's protection, the Chaos Gods would rise to enslave their race once more. For the Claw Speakers, that belief is more than tradition. It is a duty that they carry into every spell cast and every battle fought. One thing is, the style looks great. I'm a big fan of what they look like here. And it's definitely different, right? And it's something that I think a lot of people were hoping for when it came to Tiger Warriors, that they've got that Indish style on them too, which is like something that we know of very, very little really. But I love the usage of just loads and loads of like neck pieces, neck guards, I guess. That's awesome. Wind of Beasts also, again, having just extra laws of magic to play around with Grand Cathay is always a welcome thing, as even though we have Yin, Yang, Heavens, and also Metal, I think a lot of people were wanting something new, so that's always good to see. Battle gameplay-wise, we got a little bit of detail here. So Claw Speakers play a very different role to their spellcaster kin within the Cathayan roster. They move quickly, deploy forward, so they've got Vanguard, and yeah, it actually says their Vanguard, great. Not to fight, but to also shape the battle before it even begins. Their hybrid role of priestly devotion and raw magical talent also gives the Grand Cathay something it has never had access to before. The healing properties of the Lore of Life. Oh, great! Paired with spells from the Lore of Beasts and the Lore of Shadows, the Claw Speaker becomes this incredibly versatile force multiplier. Wonderful! Wonderful. Actually, very happy about that. Oh, yeah, that's great. Beyond the above, we're also exploring how to better express the Claw Speaker's devout spirituality and how their faith in Kamau shapes their abilities on the battlefield. This work is ongoing, and we'll have more to share closer to launch. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Essentially just active effects and just, you know, faction abilities that are only available to those lords and stuff. Oh, well, heroes in this case. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Some extra laws of magic in general, which is good. Which is something that, I mean, we kind of expected. You know, there's supposed to be more laws of magic in Grand Cathay with the 8-color laws and stuff. So seeing them slowly kind of fade in, that's great. That's, yeah, I have no complaints. All right, so there's not a lot of info afterwards. It's just basically them saying that there's a Games Workshop article, so that's great. There'll likely be a second video coming from me soon, and they'll have some information when they get closer to launch, which, yeah, makes sense. Like, nothing really needs... nothing really needs to be said right now, only that, yeah, stuff is coming. Now, I will say, pleasantly surprised about the price. Pleasantly surprised. It seems like it's pretty good because it's like 3 unique units. Yeah, I'm happy about this. I do wonder how these unique units are, if they're going to be kind of like variants and stuff, which is perfectly fine if they're going to be like unique variants. So it's like 3 different types of Tigermen. Sweet, right? If future character packs are going to be in this styling, so around £4, a legendary lord, a generic lord, a hero and stuff, yeah, that sounds great. I'm actually quite happy about that. That actually sounds pretty damn good. Pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I thought they were going to charge more for that. Mostly because, like, you know, they've kind of, like, taken the piss before. But, yeah, I am pleasantly surprised. So, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. And, yeah, it's an early video. So, yeah, we'll have a lot of time to talk. I'm super excited, though. This is good. Obviously, it's stuff that we already kind of knew about. But... I think it's a good way of like implementing it, right? Character packs are going to be interesting. I do wonder what other ideas they have in the future. So I do hope that this is a good format and that this ends up becoming like a regular occurrence, because it should, in theory, make things move a little bit quicker, right? Like in terms of like, you know, some content and stuff. It is smaller than a normal Lord pack, but sometimes what you don't need is like a lot of units. What you do need is good filler. Hopefully this is good filler. But yeah, have a great day, everyone. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.